Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads. Let's continue with Dr. Seuss Stories. Horton Hears a Who. On the 15th of May, in the jungle of Newell, in the heat of the day, in the cool of the pool, he was splashing, enjoying the jungle's great joys, when Horton the elephant heard a small noise. So Horton stopped splashing. He looked toward the sound. That's funny, thought Horton. There's no one around. And he heard it again, just a very faint yell, as if some tiny person were calling for help. I'll help you, said Horton, but who are you? Where? He looked and he looked. He could see nothing there, but a small speck of dust blowing past through the air. I say, muttered Horton, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Well, I think there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust. Some sort of a creature of very small size, too small to be seen by elephant eyes. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him because that's all. A person's a person, no matter how small. So gently, and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his trunk through the air, and he lifted the speck of dust and carried it over, placed it down safe on a very soft clover. Humph! Humped a voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, too. Why that speck of dust as small as the head of a pin? A person on that? Why, there never has been. Believe me, said Horton, I'll tell you sincerely. My ears are quite keen, and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, clearly there's two, even three, even four. Quite likely, a family for all that we know. A family with children just starting to grow. So please, Horton said, as a favor to me, try not to disturb them, just let them be. I think you're a fool, laughed the sour kangaroo. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me too. You're the biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Newell. And the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool. What terrible splashing, the elephant frowned. I can't let the very small persons get drowned. I forgot to protect him. I'm bigger than they. So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. He talks to a dust speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him with that speck on the flower. Horton walked worrying almost an hour. Shall I put the speck down? Horton thought with alarm. If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put it down, and I won't after all. A person's a person, no matter how small. Then Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it. Speak up, please, said Horton. He put his ear near it. My friend, came the voice, you're a very fine friend. You've helped all of us folks on the dust speck no end. You've saved our homes, our ceilings, and our floors. You've saved all our churches and grocery stores. You mean, Horton grasped, you have buildings there too? Oh yes, piped the voice, we most certainly do. I know, called the voice. I'm too small to be seen. But I'm mayor of a town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us who aren't big, they are wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a Who, and we Whos are all thankful and grateful to you. When Horton called back to the mayor of the town, you're safe now, don't worry, I won't let you down. But just as he spoke, the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed on Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, what rot! This elephant's talking to Whos who are not. There aren't any Whos, and they don't have a mayor. And we're going to stop all this nonsense. So there. They snatched Horton's clover. They carried it off. to a big-bottomed eagle named Vlad Vladikov. A mighty strong eagle of a very swift wing. They said, "Will you kindly get rid of this thing?" And before the elephant even could speak, that eagle flew off with a march with a flower in his beak. All that late afternoon and far into the night, the black-mounted bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, "Please don't harm all my little folks who have much as right to live as bigger folks do." But far beyond him, that eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, "Quit your yapping. I find the night through. I'm a bird, I don't mind it. I'll hide this tomorrow, well, you'll never find it." At 6:56 the next morning, he did it. It was a terrible place that he hid it. He let go the small clover dropped somewhere inside. A vulgar patches of clovers 100 miles wide. "Find that," sneered the bird. "I think it will fail." He left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. "I shall find it," cried Horton. "I'll find our bus. I shall find my friends on my small speck of dust." And clover by clover, with care, he picked up and searched them and called, "Are you there?" But clover by clover by clover, he found that one that he sought for was just not around. And by noon, poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had searched and picked up 9,005. Then on through the afternoon, hour by hour, till he found them at last on the 3,000,000th flower. "My friends," cried the elephant, "tell me, do tell, are you safe? Are you sound? Are you whole? Are you well?" Wouldn't the Who's be safe if they were just, whatever. From down on the speck of dust came the mayor. "We've really had trouble, more than our share, from that black-bottomed birdie let go and we dropped. We landed so hard that our clocks all have stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up when we crashed. So Horton, please," pleaded the voice of the mayor, "will you stick by us Who's while we're making repairs?" "Of course," said Horton. "Of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks through thin and through thick." "Humph!" humped a voice. "For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who've never existed. Such carryings on in our peaceful jungle. We've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state," snapped the big kangaroo, "this is your silly nonsensical game is all through." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me too." With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins and Wickersham in-laws whose help I've engaged, you're going to be rode and you're going to be caged. As far as you're dressed by, that shall be boiled in a hot steaming kettle of betel nut oil. "Boil it?" gasped Horton. "Oh, that you can't do. It's all full of persons. I'll prove it to you." Mr. Mayor, Mr. Horton called. "Mr. Mayor, you have to prove now that you really are there. So call a big meeting, get everyone out. Make every who holler, make every who shout. Make every who scream. If you don't, every who is going to end up in betel nut stew." And down on the dust speck, the scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square. And as people cried loudly, they cried out in fear, "We are here, we are here, we are here, we are here." The elephant smiled. That was clear as a bell. "You kangaroos surely heard that very well?" "All I heard," snapped the big kangaroo, "was the breeze and the faint sound of wind through the far distant trees. I heard no small voices, and you didn't either." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me neither." "Grab him," they shouted, and that catch the big dope. "Last to his stomach with 10 miles of rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. Then dunk the dumb speck in the bezelnut juice. Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into his cage, but he managed to call to the mayor, "Don't give up, I believe in you all. A person's a person, no matter how small. And a very small person who will not die if you make yourselves heard, so come on now and try." The mayor grabbed a tom-tom, he started to smack it, and all over Whoville they whooped up a racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pail top and old cranberry crayons. They blew on bazookas and blasted great toots, and clarinets, oompas, and boombas, and flutes. Great gusts of loud racket ran through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky. The mayor called up through the howling mad hullabaloo, "Hey, Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through?" And Horton called back, "I hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't strong quite as mine. They don't hear a thing. Are you sure all your boys are doing their best? Are they all making noise? Or did you ever hear down Whoville's working quick through your town? Is there anyone shirking?" Through the town rushed the mayor from east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping or yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping. It wasn't enough, all this ruckus and war. He had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building. He searched floor to floor. And just as he felt as he was getting nowhere, he almost about to go in despair. He suddenly burst through the door, and that mayor discovered one shirker, quite hidden away in the Fairfax apartment 12J. A very small shirker named Jojo was just standing, and bouncing a yo-yo, not making a sound, not a yip, not a chirp. And the mayor rushed inside, and he grabbed the young twerp. He climbed up with the lad of the Eiffelberg Tower. "This," cried the mayor, "is your town's darkest hour. The time for all who have blood that is red to come to the aid of their country," he said. "We've got to make noises in great amounts. So open your mouth, lad, for every voice counts." Then he spoke as he climbed. When they got to the top, the lad covered his fellow, and he shouted out, "Yop!" And the yop, that one small extra yop, put it over. Final at last, from that speck on that clover, their voices were heard. They ran out and clear and clean. And the elf smiled. "Did you see what I mean? They prove they are persons, no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all." "How true, yes, how true," said the big kangaroo. "And from now on, you know what I'm planning to do? From now on, I'm going to protect them with you." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me too. From the sun in the summer, from rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them, no matter how small-ish." And that is the end of that story. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.